on the dyno. Let's see what we can do. We'll go over the mod list, talk about the Dream and what we just did to it. Don't mind all the wind noise. We're just turning on all the fans. I still got to hook up the boost reference to the dyno, and then we also have to set the gear ratio on the dyno. So I'll do all that now, and then we'll meet in the car and talk about it. So this is a 2015 final edition. You can tell it has a black roof, and well, the fact that it's a final edition. This is an 18K stock injector, stock airbox, tile blow valve. They got factory downpipe, I'm pretty sure. Yep, factory O2 housing setup. Very kind of a mixed range of parts. Not how we would set it up, but unfortunately we are running into budget constraints, which means we have to work with what we've got. Generally, we don't do this. If something's not going to work, we don't do it, but we'll see what we can do for the guy going through a tough time. And unfortunately, the previous people that touched the car ended up screwing it up pretty bad, and it actually ended up chucking a rod because of several factors. Unfortunately, there's so many to list. And then, other than that, we're just going to shoot for 15 pounds. Keep an eye on the injector pulse width just to make sure we're staying well within our targets. Other than that, nothing spectacular, but I like vlogging these because it's pretty fun. So we'll continue doing this as much as I have the motivation to. So we'll get in the car, hook up the laptop to it, switch it to speed density, and go from there. This is where you put in our gear ratio calculations. So ideally, when you want to calibrate this, you run the car in third gear, calibrated at 3,000 RPM, and then it'll spit out a number. Luckily, we have a little cheat sheet here for all the gear ratios that we normally touch. So for the EVO 10, we are right here, so 92.9 is what we're going to want to put in here. So go ahead and copy that. And then paste it here. Boom, all set. Hit OK. And the other thing we'd have to do, of course, too, is make a new run file, and then we set all this up in here. Pretty basic stuff. All right, so right now we're just making sure the cruiser fuel is all good. Everything seems to be right where I want it. This is just the base map I originally put on the car, and it seems like everything's responding the way it should. But right now, our limitation is basically the stock fuel system. Given the bad luck, what he's gone through before, we will be keeping this car very, very tame, so well within where it should be. Right now, 0% duty, 3 degrees less timing than I normally run, and then the rest is just all drivability. His parents want to make sure everything's done right, and they're kind of watching everything on it, so we want to deliver the best product we can. There's also a brand new OEM long block condenser she can still get from the EVO 10. Wish we could get that for the EVO X Subaru, but unfortunately it doesn't. Just going to do a hard throttle pull here just to see what wastegate duty is doing and what this is around 4,000 RPM. Okay, so it looks like we can hit the minimum boost of right around 11 pounds, so that's good. Let's see what our injector pulse width is doing. For those of you new to tuning, what I'm using is obviously EVO Scan. I'm also using Megalog Viewer. Seems to be the best way to go through these logs. Using anything else other than Megalog Viewer, and I know people that will look at it through an Excel spreadsheet. That's crazy, man. That's some wild shit. But let me look at this log. We'll report on what we see, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we converted it over to speed density right now. Raise the RPM rev limit. We're going to go to 7,800 just to see what it does with the injector pulse width on the stock injectors. This is an unknown fuel pump to us, unfortunately. Customer doesn't know either, as they bought the car this way. This car's definitely been returned to stock, so a lot of unsolicited things for sure. And then, let me see. Yeah, just a lot of odd things for sure. So we're going to try doing another pull here, and we'll get a video of that. All right, everything seems to be working now, so let's see what happens now. Looks like we're throwing a check engine code. I'm assuming it's probably because of the head unit. A lot of these iDoing head units will throw a bunch of codes on the EVO 10 because it interrupts the CAN network. And it's not integrated. When it's not integrated properly, you can definitely cover it into work. So let's see. DTCs, what do we got? VTEX, engine, ABS. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. And then just a shitload of CAN bus codes. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see what we. Oh, this looks like this was all when the battery was going low too. So all the modules must have freaked out. So let's go ahead and erase all those. Go look at the engine bay and see what we're dealing with. So uno momento, por favor. Alright, let's see if we can spot the problem. I know I can. Alright, well, we're supposed to be the tuner, but it looks like we're going to be the mechanic today, so let's go ahead and check that. Seems a little blasphemous, but we got an engine upper intercooler pipe with an ETS silicone coupler, so we'll give it a shot, and hopefully it doesn't pop off this time. Fingers crossed. Well, first things first, I kind of already can tell that idle's a little lean. None of that is a big deal. You're not going to hurt a car at idle. Run it at like a 16.5 to a 15.5, and you can kind of hear the little pops in the exhaust because it's running a little too lean. So we'll probably end up rigidening that up a bit. And doesn't detect my open port. Which, by the way, apparently these are worth their weight in gold now, and I've got about 5 of them. But apparently they're going to be coming out with a 3.0, so I don't know. We'll probably have some gold plating or something to make it special. Not that it really needs that. We'll find out. So let's see what happens. So this is basically my typical timing. I have a feeling we might run more than this maybe one too on this car. Longer for some reason. It'll work. So let's try that. Have another tool using the open port, which is Mitsubishi stand tool. Let's close that out. And now we can run, so let's see what happens. Alright. Green button, let's go. out to a 13.0, so probably a 12.0 in the exhaust because it's out the tailpipe. So we're going to clean that up, get the fueling right, and then go from there. Looking at our front O2 though, I am questioning if it actually truly is running that lean. Yeah, we're doing good here. Looks like timing's really low. My bag. Stuff. So that looks like it starts to taper off where we want it to. Everything's lining up just how we want it to. Doing is targeting closer to 15. Oh, yeah. Looks like my dyno is missing the boost reference on there. No memento. So 280, 217 foot-pounds, centigrade, so we're cleaning out about 6. Based off of ECU narrow band, I question how real that is. Get that. Only 12 pounds, and it looks like it creeped out to the top, so probably give it a little bit of duty, like 10% duty. See where it goes there, push it up, add a degree or two of timing, and make that a little bit better. There is a good chance we won't finish this today. It's already 4:30, watch is dead, and we get off at 5, so we'll probably end up resuming it tomorrow, but I've got another 24 minutes, so we'll see how quickly we can make the changes we want. Beyond that, yeah, nothing super exciting. But I wish I had something really cool to report, like the flywheel came flying off like the red one, or lost a toe while tuning an EVO 10, but I don't think that's going to happen today, unfortunately. So, all right, let's go and do a rip. Time for another pull. Added some timing, added some wastegate duty, and added some fuel. So just moving slowly, since we don't have the fuel system really for this car to do anything really that cool. So ideally I'm hoping for 330, 300 foot-pounds. So not making much torque, but I can't run the boost. So I think that's going to be it for tonight. Obviously, we'll catch you guys all tomorrow, assuming everything goes good. So yep, we will see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It is the next morning. It is freezing cold. I have fuel all over my hands because we added the fuel pressure sensor on the dyno so we can log that on the pull. We do have a feeling the pump's out. We're at 12 or 13 pounds, and we only are making like 280 wheel and 220 foot-pounds, and we are 100% out of wastegate duty, or not wastegate duty, I'm sorry, injector duty cycle. So probably got a pump problem, which does explain a couple abnormalities we're seeing on the pull, where the air fuel is kind of dipping for a second, or jumping for a second, then dipping right where it should be. So I'm gonna do one pull with actual fuel pressure log, and then at that point we'll let the customer know, hey, we need to put a pump in this, or you know, there's other issues. But I'm pretty sure, knowing how the EVO 10s are, if this is an original pump at the current mileage at 64,000 miles, there's a chance it needs to get done. So either way, I'm going to go ahead and log that pull, and we'll confirm the suspicion if the pump is bad.
still on the same car. Trying to figure out why it's smoking.
That there's a bad day.
I just want you guys to know I ate shit and it hurt. Oh, slipped and fell off the dyno.